it's Raindrop, and I'm rocking with the Dojo Show. Mwah.
Who it is, Trap Nigga, man. You already know what's going on. I'm rocking out with the Dojo Show. Yeah.
What's up? It's your girl, Rennie Bucci, and you know I'm rocking with the Dojo Show.
Welcome to the dojo. Mike Moss, Hadouken. Let's start this. Follow me to the temple.
What's good? It's your boy, this Silas, and you now rocking with the Dojo Show. Keep it locked.
If you just tapped in, you tapped into another special edition of the Dojo Show. I'm yours truly, DJ Mike Mars.
DJ Hadouken, you did. We got my man, the famous, the infamous, you know what I'm saying, animator, the golden child of Mississippi, dear Silas. Silas, what's going on with you, man? Welcome to the Dojo Show.
Welcome to the Dojo Show.
I appreciate it, man. Thank y'all for having me. Good to be here. What's good with y'all?
Man, just kicking it, just kicking it.
So, welcome to the Dojo Show. Like I said, I did a little research on you. I found out we had a couple of mutual friends together. One go by the name of Dirty Costello. Super producer. I met him through Hood Rich. I met him through DJ Scream.
Yeah.
When he was out here doing his run. How did y'all meet each other? How did y'all come about making music?
Oh man, oh yeah, that's my homie.
Oh yeah, that's my homie too, man. He's pretty dope producer and DJ.
Yeah, man. As he would say, you know, just being in the country.
Just being in the country.
Yeah, you know, that's how we met. Just, you know, through mutual friends in Jackson, and we had linked up a few times, you know, but we never really got any work done. He was like, man, we got to get some work done, you know. And it was usually on me because I was in and out of the city at the time.
Right.
I was going to school in Louisiana, and I had to come back, you know, and I'd be here for the weekend. You know, we could never really link up because of time, you know.
Right.
But, you know, I just made it a point when I came back home. I was like, man, let's sit down, you know, and work on this stuff like, you know, we said we was going to do. And we worked on, oh, man, probably a million beats. Some of them people probably never even heard. But we worked on The Day I Died, a lot of stuff on that album, collaborative, you know, collabed on that, but yeah.
Let me ask you a question. But what is the favorite record that y'all made together in the studio when you felt like, damn, this, that one, or damn, the magic that we put into this one, the work we put into this one is outstanding or amazing?
The Wiz. I chopped up the sample and I gave it to him. I was like, this is what I want, and he took it from there, man. Like the drums, crazy, you know. He you know, orchestrated the whole thing and went from there with it. But it was just, you know, it had so much energy and it was a fun record. And I think, yeah, I mean, I think he did it. You know, Dirty works, man. He'll whip up something in like 30 seconds and it'll be a masterpiece.
But what made you want to combine The Wizard of Oz and Dragon Ball Z together? What made you want to do that? Because that's really what the song went to. It was different. So what made y'all combine that together? Because that was difficult, I feel like, that you can combine a Dragon Ball Z ideal and the wonderful Wizard of Oz type shit. So,
I mean, everything is, you know, in my opinion, is loosely connected in some sort of way. But you know, I listen to the Wiz soundtrack a lot anyway. We got it in the ride, so we bump it normally. So that's a song I've been listening to for I don't know how long now, and I know I always wanted to do something with it. But yeah, when I told that story, you know, about, you know, going to see the Wiz to get me, you know, the things I wanted to get, it just fit perfectly within my story anyway.
Right.
of your lifestyle.
Mm-hmm. And also, and just because of the things I like, you know, anime and Dragon Ball, it was also just easy to incorporate it and just mesh them together. So it wasn't really anything that was just, you know, I thought about too hard. It just kind of happened. It worked. You know what I'm saying? It made sense.
It was natural.
Yeah.
Natural. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, the record, Nikki, did you really, since you said, you know, you a regular schmegular guy, especially off the record of Wiz, do you feel like Nikki was a song you were dedicating really to a female that you dealt with in the summer that's always been on your mind, or what was that more about? Or was that really in depth? Or was that just in general with all females that you've had a vibe for?
Yeah, that was a true story. So yeah, that was
True story. Tell us, please. Backstory.
Yeah, man, that was real.
And Dirty Costello produced that, or did collected with that, correct?
Well, no, he didn't produce that one. That one, I originally, I don't know who the original producer was, but I did that record a long time ago, and it was from a Ninth Wonder sample. I can't remember. No, it was A. Marie sample, and I wanted to put it on a project on The Day I Died, so we redid the beat. A guy by the name of Antoine Perkins actually produced that one. But yeah, man, the story, it's a true story. It's, you know, just shit, growing up as a kid. I used to go to my auntie's crib over the summertime, and you know, I ended up meeting a girl, you know, shit, and we played, you know, Nintendo and all that good shit, and we had a good time, and, you know, and I was inspired to, you know, like just write a story about it, you know, on those true moments later on in life.
So you know how to play the trumpet, correct?
Yeah.
What else could you say you know how to play? Or is that the only thing? Because I know that you're really a classic guy. Like I heard that record with that you and Sackmo did, and whatnot. That was more of a laid, real Southern vibe melody, some real Mississippi. So do you feel like you playing the trumpet really gives you makes you be a classical hip hop person, but from Mississippi, as a combination to your animation?
I guess you could say so. I don't know, man. It's my niche, you know. Whatever I can put in my arsenal, you know. That's what my dad always told me. I used to shy away from it when I was younger, because I just thought, you know, like nobody would want to listen to a dude who raps and plays the trumpet at the same time.
You said that in the record with Trunks, the Trunk record, right?
I
Link
did.
to the Past, right? Link to the Past. Yeah. You said that.
Yeah, so I was just thinking like, yeah, that, you know, that's not cool. But once I started to like say fuck all that and forget how people felt, you know, I thought, you know, my dad always told me, you know, you just need to use every weapon that you got. You know, you never know what you're gonna come across, and you know, anything in your arsenal, you know, can help you. And I just looked at it as another tool that can help me get to where I want to get. And but yeah, man, it's just something I do. It's something I was doing. You know, I was, you know, playing trumpet before I even started rapping.
Okay.
So it just made sense.
So, how do you combine when you performing, rapping, and then going to playing the trumpet, just out of blue, dropping it, then coming back? Do you have a strategy of doing that? Because I mean, that's a lot of wind. That's a lot of wind.
Cardio.
Shake.
Running miles every day. Yeah, I try to get at least 2 miles in a day, just to keep the wind up. You know, and I'm still working on it. But yeah, no strategy. Just go. Just be free. Just do it. You know.
Were you really working at a job where, I believe it was on the day that I died, but were you really working at a job where somebody called you a nigga and was wilding out on you on some dumb shit and whatnot, made you wild out like that?
Oh yeah.
That's common in Mississippi, right?
Yeah, all the time, man. I used to work in a call center, you know, picking up phones, disconnecting cable and whatnot, you know, internet, shit like that. And yeah, a few times.
That was another record that you and Dirty Costello came together with,
Yeah,
right?
Dirty produced that one as well. That's one thing I liked about Dirty is that he'll make the beat, you know, right there in front of me, and I love just to be hands on with it. And I actually wrote the song while he was still putting it together. So by the time he was done putting the last hi-hats on it, you know, I was done with the last verse. You know, we do it like in one setting. But yeah, almost definitely. I got called a bunch of, you know, porch monkeys and niggas and all types of things, you know, over the phone. Even though they couldn't see, you know, what I look like, they just assumed that, you know, hey, whatever.
They can hear it in your voice or just assume.
I guess
That's
so,
crazy.
man. Yeah.
All right, since we're on the topic of mutual friends, I see that we have another mutual friend, Hershey Black.
Yeah.
How did he help you in your career, or did y'all establish a relationship before you got into the music? How did it all work out between you and him and your relationship?
Yeah, Hershey, man, another just cool cat, man. I've been blessed to just meet a lot of people from my city who just kind of supported me from afar.
Right.
And he was one of those people, just like Dirty. Like, you know, we hadn't even worked together, but he was always like, I like what you're doing. You
Keep
know,
going.
Yeah, just stuff like that.
You know what I'm saying? Speeches and stuff like that. Yeah.
Right. And Hershey actually, you know, he invited me over, you know, to the studio, and you know, he was like, hey man, you know, I can handle this record for you. You know, Hershey mixed and mastered The Day I Died, the entire project, and he produced Young, Cool, and Sexy.
Okay.
Yeah, he produced
And that was the only
record.
record I could say where like you really did a dumb it down record. Everything else off of The Day I Died was really on some intellectual vibe. It was you. It was still Mississippi. It still was down south. It still had that kid cool class vibe. But I could say Young, Cool, and Sexy was the only record that you had something where if niggas didn't know you, oh, okay, yeah, that record, who that?
I think it was more so just it was another piece to the story, you know.
How?
Well, basically, like coming from the Wiz, you know, I was looking for that. I was looking for somebody to make me popular, and you know, and not be lame anymore. And, you know, have people stop talking about me. And young, cool, and sexy is what I was going for. That's what I was trying to be. And after I met the Wiz, that's exactly what I attained in real life. You know, I became that guy who was popular. I became that guy who didn't get, I started being, I hate to say it.
Into an existing.
Yeah. I started to be the dude. I became the dude that I shouldn't have become.
Right.
But yeah, that's the part of the story.
So can you say that you've always been a nerdy guy?
I guess so. Even to this day, some people may not perceive me as that. Some people will, some people won't. But, I think in the aspect of the story of the day I died, I don't even think it was so much more like about being a nerd. It was just being like an outcast, period. I think I felt like I was, I was separated from everyone else, and I wanted to be so much a part of what was going on. Even though now, if I go back and I look at that, I wouldn't want to be a part of it. But as a kid, when you're young, you think you know what you want, and you want to be a part of things, and and you find out later on that stuff really doesn't matter.
So the day I died, it took 2 years to get this project out, correct? 2 to 3 years?
Yeah, a little bit over there, about 3 years, yeah.
And is that the reason why you made the record The Voice Procrastination?
Oh yeah, most definitely, yeah. I'm glad you said that. Yeah, it is. Something I struggle with, and that's why I made the song about it, obviously. And it's something I'm still working on, and that's a reason why I also call myself Dear Silas, because I gotta constantly preach to myself, and remind myself of what I have to do and where I'm trying to go in life.
So what about the record Gutter Island? What made you come up with that concept? What made you come up with that record?
So Gullah Gullah Island, which was also produced by our hometown hero Don Shay. Basically, he had the record on his SoundCloud, and I had met him through mutual friends at a beat battle or beat competition. And I was like, man, I like the stuff he's doing. So somebody linked me up to his stuff. Went to the SoundCloud page and I found a beat. It had been up there for a while, and I was like, I wonder if he's gonna do something with this. So I reached out to him, I contacted him. He was like, oh yeah, I just did that for fun.
Right.
And I was like, well, I think I might want to do something with it. And he was like, cool. So he sent me the track outs for it. And the first time I wrote to it, I'm not gonna lie, it was more so like just a freestyle based song. I was just being super arrogant on it, like, I'm this, I'm that, y'all can't fuck with me, blah 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 blah, just braggadocious rapper,
Get something
stuff.
off your chest.
Yeah, and I was like, it's cool, but I don't know if I want to stick with that.
Right.
And then, I don't want to name any names, but, all of the social injustice, somebody else died, more police brutality. I think I was at home one day and I was like, I was just furious by it. And I went back and I was like, you know what, this is what I want to talk about.
And you redid it.
You want to know what's crazy? That record actually put on a project I did with Dirty Glove Bastards called Injustice System. That DGB and we had did, and I made that like the last song on there because that was kind of where he was going to. So I definitely can agree with that. So another question is this: like, I'm really astounded. How did you and Kamikaze come together? Like, you have somebody who is like the main piece of Mississippi that nobody really knows unless you're from Mississippi or Mississippi, because they treat Kamikaze as if he's the god of Mississippi, low key. If you was ever in the 80s and 90s in Mississippi, how did y'all link up for him being your manager and also your DJ hyping you when you perform? How did that become?
Yeah, man. At the time I was working on The Day I Died, still in the process of writing it, and I was at the job that I was talking about on the song, and he reached out to me. I had spoke with him a few times before that, showed love, but I was at work, left me a voicemail, said let's chop it up. I ended up hitting him back, and we met, and he was like, hey, I like what you're doing. But I think we can do better. And we can if you give me the chance. I feel like in the next 6 months, we can go from here to this level. Right. And at the time, I was so used to doing everything, on my own. I was like, well, maybe it's time to try something different. And that's kind of how I got established.
And y'all been rocking ever since.
Yes, most definitely.
Because I think it's hard, like, for somebody who made your market, who's made a part of it, because everybody really know David Banner. That's as close as it get really when it comes to the underground or the spark of Mississippi. But nobody really knows who Kamikaze is unless you be in the SIP. You know what he's done from the start of it. But could you say he really had to believe in something that you are for him to just go and I'm gonna do that?
I think so. I think maybe he saw something, you know, that I had to offer, and I think at the time, you know, I think a lot of people, you know, they couldn't see what I had to offer, you know. But I think at a time where, you know, I was kind of like alone, you know, at the bottom in the shadows, you know, he recognized it, and I think that's what I appreciate the most, because, you know, I felt like I deserved a lot more recognition than I was getting at the time, you know. But, you know, at the same time, I'm not one of those, you know, people who complain a lot, you know, so I didn't speak on it a lot. But, you know, everybody feels like at some point in their career or whatever they're doing, or they're putting enough work in, they should be further along in their career. Yeah, right. Than they really want to be. Especially on the financial journey. Yeah, but I feel like he recognized, you know, what I had and what I possessed and where we could take it, you know.
Is Slim Pusha and Hollywood Luck your cousin or family related?
Nah, we just super cool.
Y'all just super cool?
Yeah.
You got records with Slim Pusha?
Yeah,
Low key?
Yeah.
Why that stuff ain't never came out?
It is, man. Yeah, Slim we got a record called, I don't rap on it. It's called Lady Friend, but I play the horn on the record.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay.
Yeah, and we got some, or do we? Did that come out? Yeah, that's a good question. I got some old projects, man. You just got to do some digging, you know. A couple of mixtapes before the day I died that Slim is on. And we collabed on some records.
Hollywood Luck produced Black Vegeta, right?
Plain Vegeta, I produced.
Plain Vegeta.
Yeah, I produced that, and Dirty Costello co-produced on it.
How did that record come about?
What was I doing, man?
Because I think it's crazy how you combined the history of Prince Vegeta, Plain Vegeta, and black people at the same time. I just think that was dope.
Yeah, man, I was angry at some things at that time in my life. You know, still am. You know, stuff still happens. But, you know, I was really, really going through it, and I was looking for a way to like voice those frustrations without just getting online and going on a rant. You know, I feel like I could reach more people if I really put it on wax or put it on a record.
Put a beat behind it.
Right. But yeah, I was just trying to get better as a producer, and no lie, I was on. I made the whole beat by looking at YouTube tutorials. You know, how to chop, how to sample, how to get your hi-hats like this or whatever. So I'm hitting play over here on YouTube. Okay, boom, and I'll jump over here
and do it.
Yeah, and I made the beat, man. It comes from an old Dragon Ball Z movie about Goku's father, Bardock. And I just always like how that sounded. It just sounds so beautiful. You know, like it sounds like an opera or something like that. And again, I chopped up the sample, put the drums down, came to Atlanta, let Dirty hear it, and he took the drums and made them sound better than I had already laid down. So yeah.
You were Ableton, Fruity Loop, Reason. What type of guy are you? What's your dog?
I started out on Reasons a long time ago, but that was a long time ago. I'm pretty sure it's nothing like it was back then. But I made most of the stuff that I'm producing now on Fruity Loop. Like Planet Vegeta, Wrong Things. Trying to think. Sheesh. Can't really think anything like right now. But yeah, most those two.
Could you say you're like the Lupe Fiasco to Mississippi?
Nah, I don't think so.
So you don't feel like you're a backpack nigga when you rap?
I think I'm a whatever, type nigga when I rap. I feel like I can, I could jump to whatever I want to jump to. It's just how I feel at the time, You might hear, I don't know, I might be on some.
So how would you describe yourself as an artist?
To anybody who'd never heard of you. If they've never seen no anime, if they never was an anime person.
They was just searching through Spotify. Looking for a playlist. What playlist would you be on?
I don't know if they created it yet, man. Honestly,
that's a good answer.
I just don't. I don't think it exists yet, and I think it's up to me to
make it happen.
Yeah, to make that happen.
Lead that way.
I think, man. I don't know. I like in my shows. I have very, very, like a very diverse crowd. Mm-hmm. It's people of all colors, all ages, all sizes, shapes come out to see me. So I don't know, man. But I know for a fact when I write my music, I tend to I tend to go for nostalgic things because that's that's what makes me happy. That's my comfort zone. So I usually talk about things from my childhood, or just things that take me back to a place where I didn't have to worry about adult life and things of that nature.
Do you feel like you're the missing gap where hip hop and anime comes together? A lot of artists want to do it. Because in hip hop we support the Dragon Ball. It's a part of the culture. Street Fighter. It's a part of the culture.
Yes.
But I don't think nobody will come out and be that anime nerd and hip hop at the same time, because that gap, the streets and anime, or just Japanese anime nowadays, is a big gap.
Huge gap.
That I think we kind of pay attention to from the 80s and 90s, but we don't pay attention to Bleach, Naruto, etc., Fist of the North Star, Gundam, the new sagas and so forth. Do you feel like you're that missing gap as an artist?
I don't know if I'm the link for that. I think I'm a guy.
Hold on. But you're the same person who wears a Naruto, cover.
Yeah.
You're a big person on Trunks. Mm-hmm. Everything you do from promotion and whatnot is based off anime. So you don't think you're the missing link to that, bro?
So I think I'm a person. I rap, and this is what I'm into. Yeah, it's not that I'm saying that I don't think like I'm not saying I won't be that or I won't be that missing link, but I'm just saying me personally, like that's not a goal of mine right now. My goal is just to make good music and to be brutally honest about the person that I am. So the fact that I got this headband on right now, it doesn't symbolize that I'm trying to be this link. I'm trying to do that. It just means that, look, this is what I like, and I'm not gonna hide it, because I spent so much of my life trying to hide the person that I was because I was ashamed of it, and I'm like, I'm not gonna do that, So if you see this and you can relate to it, all the power in the world. I'm glad that I can connect with the people that that can see me for who I am, But at the end of the day, Silas's goal is to change the world, by making good music for anybody, because I don't want to push out people, like not all of my fans are into anime.
Right.
Some of them don't even know what this is until I explain it to them, or they've never heard of Naruto or Dragon Ball or anything like that. They just hear the music and I like the music. But at the same time, like I make records, like I did on the new album, I try to make them, not so one-dimensional to where anybody can really like this record. But if you listen to it a little bit closer, or you happen to get into this stuff later on, it's a plus for you. Like, oh, I didn't even know it was about this too.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Now you find something else to like about the record when you already like something about it.
Got you. Yeah, like the record with
makes sense.
Yeah.
But you still make it comfortable for a lot of like kids who like hip hop and who like anime also.
Exactly. Yes.
So you make it comfortable for them to, express themselves and what they, like to their friends, because you know how hip hop is. It can be a little overbearing of what we have to do with rules and all that good stuff in between.
I felt that way for a long time. I felt like I couldn't be a rapper, you know what I'm saying?
Because of the rules.
Right, I didn't come from this type of setting. My parents weren't like this, or or I wasn't poor enough. I feel like I
didn't carry enough guns.
Yeah,
all the all the stereotypes that comes with it. But like I said, you're so comfortable in your skin and how you present yourself in your music, that can kind of rub off, and it will rub off on the younger generation or kids coming up who like all that stuff.
Right. Exactly.
What made you want to bring this project and call it Cherry Blossom? What brought that apart?
Again, I'll get to that. But basically, I was looking for a name for the record, and I was like, it's gotta be a cool name. So I was just jotting down stuff every day. I was trying to, at first, make a connection between The Day I Die and this album, but I couldn't, because it wasn't really a continuation. After a while, I just stopped trying, to come up with a name, and I was like, what, I'm just gonna let it come to me. I'm just gonna, I'm gonna keep making the project, keep making the music, and eventually, the right title will come to me. And again, I'm super duper into anime. It's a part of my everyday life. Like I usually watch something anime related every night before I go to bed. I don't even watch TV a lot, but I'll pull up like a Crunchyroll app or something like that, or YouTube, and just watch, even if it's like some informational, type stuff. But anyway, every anime I notice that I watch, it has a cherry blossom in it somewhere. If it's, floating in the water, or flying in the background, or just, somebody sitting at a tree, it's always a cherry blossom, and that makes sense because it's a Japanese tree.
Right.
So, and I was like, man, every time they show it, it's always a scene that's real calm and serene. And it's just, the only thing I can think of is like, I want people to feel that way when they listen to my music. I want them to feel like, comfortable, and like nothing else matters around them. And I was like, you know what? That's the name. Cherry Blossom.
That's real. Okay. I wasn't thinking about that at all.
No, I wasn't thinking about that at all. I'm not gonna lie though. My mind was over there like cherry blossom, like a virgin coming into women's. Excuse me. That's what I was thinking about. But here nor there. The music's still great though.
Appreciate it, yeah.
Is there an American character that you fuck with? Like a Marvel or DC character? I know that you were big on Japanese anime, but are you big on anything comic-wise? Because before, I'm an Uber nigga on the side. I got texting me Stan Lee before he passed.
Word.
And
That's dope.
I didn't know that Black Panther was owned by Marvel Japan. Like, he was owned by Marvel Japan, and it took 4 or 5 years for them to bring him over because of the license. Because in the 70s and 80s, we had comics of them. But because it wasn't,
they had the rights.
Yeah, they had the rights, and it wasn't a heavy push. So Stan Lee gave it to whoever to the Marvel Japan. Mm-hmm. So, which was kind of interesting. But who's like a character that you could say as an American character that you fuck with, whether it's Marvel, DC, or anything of that nature?
So I'm glad you asked that actually, because I just saw Spider-Man last night.
Oh man.
And man, I was joking, of course, but I was saying, I was like, you know what? I'm done with rapping. My new goal in life is to be Spider-Man. Like, I just got to figure out how to stick to shit and, get strong or whatever.
Now here's the question. Which Spider-Man? Because you got the new generation. Which Spider-Man? Because you got the Ultimate Spider-Man, you got the Silver Spider-Man, you got the new generation Spider-Man that's ran by Disney. You know what I'm saying? That's black. Spider-Man is black now in the Disney version of him. Yeah. So which Spider would you want to be? Venom? Like, who would you want to be?
So again, I'm glad you asked that too, because I was very specific, because of last night. And I love Miles, man. Dope. I love that movie too. But I ain't gonna lie, man. I like the Tom Holland version of Spider-Man. It just seems so authentic. It's like I feel like, to me, he might be the closest to what Stan Lee was going for. Just a kid who don't have it all together. I see so much of myself in him. He's got all his talent, but none of that matters, because he's still influenced by, the different things in life, and he still needs guidance. He doesn't know which way to go, and he doesn't know which decision to always make. So, just having the world in the palm of your hands, but you can still fuck up, I think that's super cool. But yeah, I really like that depiction of the character. So I would say that one.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, and I put that on Twitter. It's going kind of crazy right now. So my mentions is going crazy. A lot of people was mad. So no, we like Toby. You know what I'm saying? But for the most part, people rocking with Tom.
Toby have a lot of fans.
He do, and Toby,
he has a lot of fans.
Toby was cool. I think he was cool for a long time because that was the only version we knew. For a live action. Right, yeah, right. Other than the super old shit that we're not gonna speak on.
In the 80s and whatnot. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I think he was the only version that that a lot of. So it's natural, to grasp that one. But I think after you get a few more options, and then I think his name was Andrew Garfield. You had him too. Now we got something to compare it all, and I think Tom got it, man. I think he the one.
Interesting. Yeah. So coming back to the album, Fall Through.
Yeah.
How did that come about? Because you did some little melodies like you was Keith Sweating there. Like
he was hitting them too.
Yeah, he was hitting them. So like, how did that come about? You know what I'm saying?
Man, so that was Fall Through, which is another record produced by my homie Fly Walker. He produced Skirt Skirt on the album.
Oh yeah, shout out Fly Walker, real Mississippi.
Yeah,
Good.
man, yeah. He's my dog, old Memphis cool nigga, but you know he Mississippi now. But anyway, threw me the record. I heard it, and when I'm writing a record, it kind of sounds like it's about one thing, you know, but to me it's about something totally different. But I kind of leave it up for interpretation for whoever listens to it, and that's kind of like my goal too with the music, man. I try to, you know, I want it to be super broad,
So
you know.
it can relate to you in some form.
Yeah, like basically, like I'm making it about what I want to make it about.
Right.
But I do want other people to be able to relate to this music without, of course, sacrificing what I wanted to do with the record. I always make sure it's something that I want to do and I love, you know. But basically, it was kind of more like another divorce procrastination type song.
With the Dexter meme that was everywhere on Instagram. Well, that's something that was organic, or that's something that you and your team mastermind behind the plan and then released to the community?
Nah, man, I was just surprised as everybody else. Just look, cause you know the album had already been out for a few weeks,
Right.
and you know I guess it just manifested its way. I saw it on Twitter. It went real big on Twitter, and then it just kind of, I think that's where shit starts at, honestly.
On Twitter.
Yeah.
And then it spreads to everything
And
like
it went
else.
everywhere else. It was
Right.
like Twitter, Instagram, then Facebook, or vice versa. I don't know. But yeah, man, I saw it, and I was like, damn, it just hit a mill, you know. And then my homie Fly Walker, who produced, he was like, I think it's gonna hit 2 million tonight. And I was like, nah, but then it did. So, and I was like, yeah, I might need to start getting prepared for some stuff after that happened.
I'm not gonna lie, I reposted it on my page. It was crazy.
A word, yeah, man. It was crazy. I appreciate that. Yeah, you're part of the reason, man.
I was
Thank you for
dying
sharing.
when I first seen that shit.
Cause it got over to Instagram. Complex ended up
Right.
posting it, and it just went even crazier from there. And then a whole bunch of celebrities started posting the record, singing the song. And, here we are now. So yeah.
100. How's it feel this is the last question. How's it feel to get fans out of this, authentic fans, and have to do your own mini tour and still have an independent vibe and still be signed?
It's amazing, man. The only thing I can always think about is like I get to do what I love doing, and I'm actually reaching people, and it's always amazing just to think about. And it's kind of hard for me to take in sometimes, because sometimes I'll see somebody in a crowd singing a song, and I can't believe, this is something that I wrote, in my bedroom, like hoping that this, somebody could relate to this, and just to have people come up to you after the show and say, man, when you said this right here, that really got to me. It's a great feeling, man. I can really put it into words. I can't explain it, but it's a blessing.
100%. Well, first and foremost, before we end this out, I have a dojo cookie for you.
Okay.
We want you to open that real up and see the metaphor in it and break it down to us and see what you take out of it real quick.
What it means to you.
All right, bet.
How you interpret it.
Dojo fortune cookie. All right, let's check this out. What we got here? Many receive advice, only the wise profit by it. Oh man, off top. I'm gonna read that one more time. Many receive advice, only the wise profit by it. So me reading that, what's the old saying, man? You can take a horse to water,
But you can't force them to drink.
but you can't force them to drink, man. And I think us, like being a younger generation, that's something that we suffer with a lot. But yeah, it's just basically saying, man, you got people around you, they can put you in position, make sure you got the necessary tools to build a great foundation. But if you're not willing to listen to them, shit may or may not happen, That's basically what it means to me, yeah.
100%.
100%.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, Silas, man, we really appreciate you coming in, man, and rocking with the Dojo Show.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? For sure. That's my man's word. Like
Yeah,
that.
that's
For sure.
for sure.
You gotta put on the T, man. You gotta put on the T to make it official.
For sure.
DJ Hadouken.
DJ Mike Mars.
We in the motherfucking building, and this is the Dojo Show
Special edition.